You're welcome to the Messiah channel. We look at events that foretell us that we are in the end of this. I made a video some time ago, and the video is about a vision I had where it was shown to me that leaders are about to unleash. The word is unleash. I don't know what the leaders are planning to unleash, but it tells us that they are planning to unleash terror and tribulation. We are in 2023, very early in the year 2023, and what do we see? We see doomsday planes flying in the United States, flying in Europe, and also flying in Russia. America's doomsday plane was shown hovering over the skies of the United States. Russia doomsday planes also were shown hovering over the skies in Russia. And it was very surprising to see Russia conducting 3 doomsday exercises in a week, and also displaying the most deadly apocalyptic weapons that they have. As they are displaying doomsday planes in plain sight, they are also talking about preparations for war. You remember a memo was leaked in the US. The memo is about a war that is planned between United States and China. They were talking about 2025. And so we see that they are about to unleash, or they are planning to unleash something. It was very interesting to see swarms of drones hovering over Russia. Swarms of drones. Attack drones close to Moscow. It means Russia was under attack. And when you see drones hovering over Russia, you see there is a bold attempt to confront the enemy in their home base. And how Russia reacts. As they are displaying doomsday plane, Putin has announced that Russia has suspended her membership in the New START treaty with the United States. It means that Russia will be able to do whatever they want to do without any nuclear inspections, without any nuclear verification. Leaders are suddenly talking about World War III, whether we're talking about American leaders or NATO leaders, or talking about Russia. They are talking about World War III. And businessmen, news media, they are all talking about World War III. And they falsely believe that they can win World War III. Both US and Russia falsely believe that they can survive World War III. They can survive nuclear war. Russia's nuclear doctrine is premised on the false and reckless assumption that if they fight a nuclear war, they can survive. As they are preparing for this war, you see cyber attack going on both in Russia and also in the United States. There was a time that there was a bomb placed in Oklahoma, I believe, by a gentleman called Timothy McVeigh some years ago. And the Americans were saying that this is the first time they've seen such terrorist attack on American soil. And that's a long time ago. But now you see fire and bombs placed at airports. They were talking about a device that was placed at an international airport near Philadelphia. You see oil refineries being set on fire. 3 facilities belonging to the same company in the United States, different locations being set on fire, remnants and poisoning of water. These are all terrorist attacks, and I believe they are coordinated. And I would probably call it reckless endangerment. If you put your baby in a car without a seat belt, the police will arrest you in the US and they will charge you with endangering the life of a minor. If you're overspeeding, they may charge you with reckless endangerment. In this world we live in, you see the leaders of nations engage in reckless endangerment, making reckless statements about wars, intimidating the world, patrolling their nuclear arsenals, testing weapons, and engaging in acts and activities that are reckless and dangerous. It's reckless and dangerous because these leaders, they're operating from doomsday plans. If the nuclear wars come, the American president and the Russia president will be operating from doomsday plans. They believe that the planes will not be destroyed. They are built to overcome nuclear explosion. And if they are not in their doomsday plane, they will be operating from bunkers. And because they think they can survive, they can engage in any reckless endangerment that puts the life of the world at risk. They don't care whether there are shelters in place. They don't care whether school children have shelters in place when nuclear war starts. And if you remember the announcement that was made in New York City preparing people for nuclear war, the announcement was very shaky. It was only for 90 seconds and nothing actually was said about how nuclear war could be winnable, and people were left to their own fate, their own destiny. And so we are living in a world where they are talking about World War III. They are talking about nuclear Armageddon. President Biden visited Ukraine in a show of force, and more money is being given to the war in Ukraine. Over $100 billion has been supplied by United States to fight the proxy war in Ukraine. In the same way, Russia is also spending a lot of money in the Ukrainian war. The question you ask yourself is, why are people talking about World War III without showing any sign that they are afraid, without showing any signs of restraint? The answer is very simple. They have a plan. The plan is to depopulate the world. There are so means of depopulating the world. One of them is biological. And I believe they tried and it didn't succeed, if you know what I'm talking about. And now they have a plan B. Sure, this plan B is meant to succeed. And this plan B is more dangerous. It's nuclear Armageddon. And it is designed for maximum impact. And hopefully they will be able to achieve their objective. The objective is to reduce global population from 8 billion to 500 million, half a billion. And that is based upon their mandate, is based upon their thinking, is based upon their plan, as was written on the Georgia Guidestones. And you remember the 10 Commandments. One of them is to reduce the world's population to a mere 500 million. And so when you see doomsday planes in the United States, in Russia, when you see soldiers being slaughtered in the battlefield, when you see the US Congress appropriating billions of dollars to fight a proxy war, and when you see Russia maneuvering, moving out of the nuclear treaty and building bunkers and having emergency security meetings, it means that they are preparing to unleash. You have to remember that the Lord does not do anything except that he reveals his secrets to his servants, the prophets, as stated in the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. And so when you see leaders engaging in acts of reckless endangerment, sponsoring terrorist activities, engaging in wars, and preparing for nuclear Armageddon, you have to remember that they are preparing to unleash terror and tribulation. It is so sad that this terror and tribulation will take these people themselves to hell. Unfortunately, it will take other people to hell too, those whose names are not written in the book of life. So when you see that doomsday looms over the nations, when you see that, you know that we are in the last days. It's a warning for those who are alive, for us who are alive. It's a warning for us to put our houses in order. King Hezekiah, he was going to die. The prophet Isaiah told him he was going to die, and he told him to put his house in order. Luckily for King Hezekiah, the prophet Isaiah was commanded by God to tell the king that he has 15 years more to live, so he could put his house in order in 15 years. We are living at a time where a nuclear weapon can be triggered. The trigger can go in seconds, in minutes, and the results cannot be reversed. The catastrophe that will occur as a result of nuclear Armageddon cannot be reversed. If you watch the TV, if you read the news, even if you read your phone, the information on the phone, you know that they are preparing for doomsday. Even if the media doesn't tell you, you should know. You have a responsibility to know that they are preparing for doomsday, and they are preparing for calamity. They are preparing for tribulation, and they are doing that because this is what their master wants. Their master is Lucifer. He wants millions, if not billions, to perish so that they will lose their salvation. But for you who has the spirit of discernment, you should know that the doomsday players, they are displaying their antics, and they are warning you about their plans. It will take a second, it will take a minute for a finger, a reckless finger, to strike on a nuclear trigger, and the world will fall, and there wouldn't be hope for the world. But based upon a vision that I had in 2017, I believe that an event is coming. I don't know what type of event. It could be a war, but it will be a global war, and during that time, there will be tribulation, and there will also be rapture. So based upon the vision I had in 2017, I believe that those who are preparing for doomsday are also going to help trigger the tribulation and the rapture that will come at the same time. Prepare by living your life based upon the principle and the precepts of the Bible. Worry about the lifestyle that you lead. Live a holy life. Think about heaven. Think about eternity, and plan how you want to spend eternity. And now, whether you want to spend eternity in the presence of the Lord, or you want to spend eternity in the presence of those who are preparing for the doomsday, the leaders who are doing the bidding for Lucifer, those who are engaging in reckless endangerment by preparing to unleash the doomsday war. Thank you for listening to this message.